I'm here with Hannah Williams from Salary Transparent Street, and I wanted to ask her some questions about the work that she does. So Hannah, do you think transparency, especially when it comes to pay, is always a good thing?
First of all, I just want to say I'm a huge fan of the Conversationalist. I'm super happy to be here. But yeah, pay transparency is so important. It's necessary in our society. It's everything really to close existing pay gaps that exist for women, people of color, people with disabilities, the LGBTQ community, anyone that can be taken advantage of in a situation where unconscious biases exist. Pay transparency solves that.
Have you ever encountered someone that disagrees and really thinks pay transparency is a bad thing?
Yes. A lot of people disagree, and they are either white males or they work for HR. And it's very telling because they're the ones who benefit the most from secrecy. Literally, the only reason pay transparency exists is to help employees, and the only reason pay secrecy exists is to help companies. So we need to meet in the middle.
And I'm so glad you've started a platform to really trying to destigmatize that topic.
Yeah.
What would you say to people who want to have those conversations but don't know where to start?
Lean into the discomfort. Like you said earlier, no one's going to be totally comfortable with transparency, but you have to understand the value that it brings. And that maybe if you're a white male, it doesn't bring too much value to you, but it makes all the difference for so many other people, including your direct colleagues. So lean into the discomfort, educate yourself on the values that it brings and how it helps people that you love and know as well.
Get comfortable with the uncomfortable. We love it. What does transparency mean and look like to you?
Transparency is openness. It's communication. It's sharing. And, I don't think that everyone, like when I come across people to interview, if they say they're not comfortable with it, I really don't blame them. I think that pay transparency needs to happen on the company level first and foremost. So if you don't want to share what you make with friends, that's fine. But your colleague who does the exact same thing as you should know what you make and how you compare. It's really just openness, it's communication, it's learning from one another and being open to that.
Absolutely. That's how we start the conversation.
Yeah.
And for so many people watching this, I'm sure they also fangirl over your show like I do. And you're having these conversations daily, asking people what they do, how much they make, and trying to break down that stigma. How are you doing that in your own life outside of interviewing people on the street?
That's a really good question. I like to think that I'm just kind of the messenger. I'm just the one there who is starting these conversations and helping educate people. So really it's just introducing them to the values here, and by doing that I'm helping other people. But in my life, I work for myself, so I'm transparent about what I make with my fiance. But other than that, when I used to work, I would tell my colleagues what I made. Before I quit my last job, I told our junior analyst, I was like, you're underpaid, probably. You should be making more. This is what I made as a junior analyst. This is what I make now. This is what you gotta strive for, and don't take anything less. So I don't know, I just liked helping people.
You really are. Thank you for starting the platform that you have created and for committing yourself to having these conversations that will break down that stereotype that we can't talk about these issues. So thank you.
Oh, thank you. I hope it works.
And it is working. So Hannah, thank you for being on the show.
Oh, thanks for having me. Oh my God.